Legendary entrances are one of the most awaited scenes in the anime universe. The entrance can be either of the main hero, a villain, or even a side character. So here we are, folks, with the top 20 legendary anime entrances of all time. 20. Mushoku Tensei. First up on our list is the cat you might have heard about from the anime, Mushoku Tensei. Before the amazing entrance, we see that Eris is kidnapped by a bunch of sneaky bastards who want to sell her to one of the most noble people in the anime. But our MC had something else in mind. He comes to the rescue of his friend. Using some non-lethal techniques like fireworks and smoke bombs, Rudy somehow manages to rescue Eris. The kidnappers run after them, and one of the kidnappers throws his sword at them like Captain America's shield. Rudius tries to block it and throws some fireballs at the sword, but it pierces through all of the fire, and just when it is about to hit Rudius, the cat girl Ghislaine arrives. She jumps and runs over the roofs with the speed of sound and arrives at the scene. In a matter of milliseconds, Ghislaine jumps and slashes the ugly sword into a million pieces. And that's just not it. She then dashes with the supersonic speed at the kidnappers and cuts their heads like a piece of cake. The impact, however, is so intense that it shatters the surroundings as well, leaving everything demolished. Rudius and Eris are so happy to see Ghislaine, but Rudy will be traumatized for life as he sees a headless body lying in front of him and blood splitting out. Rudy thanks Ghislaine, and a person there just pisses his pants after seeing Ghislaine. 19. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Making its way into our list is an anime that most folks haven't heard about. It's Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The anime is truly a hidden gem when it comes to fighting and animation. However, the legendary entrance here is not like the one you saw last time. This time, the entrance is from a villain also known as Atom Smasher. He is truly a menace in the series. Even with the heavy armor and load Atom Smasher can move at speeds nobody can even comprehend. The bastard is total Chad when it comes to fighting, and one of the most memorable moments from the series is when he comes face to face with our hero gang. The heroes rescue Lucy from the Arasaka Tower, but this was their worst mistake. Atom Smasher was called in to take of them, and he came flying on Rebecca. No one was prepared to face such a demon. Atom pierces through the ground, stomping Rebecca like a tiny ant. Falco tries to take care of Jerk, but Atom Smasher simply destroys his arm. David goes one-on-one with the mighty beast, but is all in vain. Adam demolishes David's suit, and Lucy tries to hack into his brain to save her friends, but Atom Smasher doesn't give a F. He kills the heroes and marks the finale of the series. 18. Bungo Stray Dogs is 4. Bungo Stray Dogs is surely an anime worth watching. With its amazing soundtrack and animations, the anime really has some awesome entrances. The best entrance is from Season 4, Episode 7, when the hunting dogs arrive. Hunting dogs are the most powerful unit of the entire army. They are so powerful that they can even catch bullets with their bare hands. Due to some strange events, the agency is being closed and its members are being considered as criminals who make a run for their lives. But the hunting dogs are sent after them due to their unique speed and mind-boggling strength. The dogs arrive in the field in capsules just like Vegeta did in Dragon Balls. Everyone is so shocked to watch this legendary entrance. Combining this entrance with the bullet-catching scene, it truly shows how strong these members are. 17. Jujutsu Kaisen. Now it's time for a legendary entrance from Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have never heard the name of the anime before, I am confident that you have been living under a rock for decades. From many cool entrances from Jujutsu Kaisen, the arrival of Toji is dear to everyone. The entrance takes place when Nanami, Maki, and Nobito are fighting the cursed spirit Dargan in Dargan's domain. The bastard is so strong that Megumi arrives to create a portal so they can escape the Dargan's dimension. But it was the moment for the legendary entrance. Yuji arrives from the portal with blackish devil eyes. He's so happy that she grabs Maki's nunchucks and unleashes on the cursed spirit. Yuji crushes Dargan in his own dimension and burst opens his face, but the entrance is dear because it was never expected. Yuji was killed by Gojo years ago, but this sudden arrival surely had the fans on the edge of their seats. 16. 7 Deadly Sins. Everyone knows the lion's sin from the 7 Deadly Sins. Escanor is truly a gem when it comes to crushing enemies beyond your own levels. The mighty entrance takes place when Estarossa invades the city along with his commandments. He casts a commandment that makes everyone still at their place if they have hatred towards anyone. The knights are stuck in their places, but not Escanor. His mighty footsteps shatter the ground as he walks toward Estarossa. Seeing this, everyone is shocked, and Escanor drops the coldest line ever, saying that he has no feelings towards the one beneath him but pity. The fight begins, and Estarossa first sends him crashing to the bottom of the castle, and then sends him flying in the air with a kick to the gut. It was obvious that Escanor would be killed, but our lion's sin pulled out his devastating blow that got Estarossa on his knees. After just 2 moves and taking a couple of hits, Escanor was able to defeat Estarossa. 15. Hellsing Ultimate. If you love Draculas, you will surely love this anime as well as the entrance. The story revolves around an ancient vampire named Alucard, which is the reverse of Dracula. He, along with his master Integra, attempts to defend England against a maniacal SS Major who wants to use his army of vampires to spark an endless conflict. The mighty entrance of Alucard occurs when the army invades alongside the powerful priest. The master of Integra lets Alucard loose and drops his control to 0. Just like that, Alucard goes full berserker, releasing his full potential and the spirits that he had engulfed during his life. He also raises his army from the dead, and a sea of blood engulfs the whole city. The dead army kills those disgusting Nazis, and Alucard also regains his mid-aged personality. The entrance is very shocking as Alucard reveals himself as Count Dracula. 14. My Hero Academia. You might have seen tons of clips of All Might. While this entrance surely deserves the spot in the top 20 legendary entrances. The event occurs when Nomu and Tomura suddenly attack our heroes. Nomu beats the living crap out of Aizawa. Izuku tries to protect his friends, but even his full-strength blow is no match for Nomu. Just as Nomu is about to grab Izuku and Tomura is about to kill the other 2 heroes, our All Might arrives at the scene. The entrance is iconic itself as it gives you some badass vibes. It's pretty similar to Naname's entrance for the first time in a 2-piece suit. When all hope is lost, everyone suddenly feels relief as All Might comes to the aid. First he saves the little brats and finally goes hand in hand with a jacked Nomu. The fight was well animated and pretty balanced at all times until the final moments. All Might goes plus ultra to land a devastating blow to Nomu's gut that sends him flying in the air and kill it instantly. 13. Sengoku Basara. In the second season, Toyotomi Hideyoshi emerges as the next great unifier of the country. But in contrast to real history, he is unrelated to the Oda clan, whose adherents were nearly exterminated by the end of the first season. The iconic Hideyoshi has some really strong feats. In an iconic battle, the rival army was arriving by sea under the leadership of Joso Kaba. Hideyoshi wasted no time and jumped into the sea. He stretched his butt and arm to land a lethal blow in the ocean. It was so strong that the mere force of it pushed all the water out of the way, leaving the army of Joso Kaba and ships on bare ground. Then he advances with his army and beats the hell out of Joso Kaba and also launches cannons from his bare hands. He surely is someone you don't want to mess with. 12. Berserker. One of the most notorious characters from the Berserker anime is Skull Knight. The Skull Knight, a towering warrior equipped in full armor with embellishments, particularly his helmet shaped like pieces of a human skeleton. His ride is an enormous spectral black horse. He is one of the most enigmatic and productive characters featured in Berserk. Before the arrival of the Skull Knight, Griffith betrays Guts to attain godhood and also defiles Casa. A brutal fight took place between the Hawk Clan and the demons. Suddenly, Skull Knight arrived into the fabric of reality to take on Griffith. However, he was still able to save our main character and his girlfriend. 11. Magic. Before we enter our top 10 picks, here we have an anime called Magic, but the entrance here is surely once in a decade. Aladdin and the other heroes were facing a giant humanoid monster, and they were exhausted to death. When all hope was gone, suddenly Sinbad arrived. Sinbad is the president of the Sindria Trading Company, the most influential trading company in the world, the head of the International Alliance, and the former king of Sindria. Sinbad launches a mighty lightning attack from the sky on the humanoid that goes off like a nuke. The entrance becomes more like a gangster when we see other 7 sea alliances with Sinbad as well. 10. Sword Art Online. In our top 10, we have Kirito from Sword Art Online. This entrance was a blaster because Vazago was about to kill Kirito's friends when he suddenly woke up from his long-lasting coma. After killing the administration, Kirito was in a long coma, but his friends somehow revived him, and to add salt on the wound of Vazago, Kirito was even more powerful. It's like a second awakening, and Kirito was overpowered before going into a coma, so an extra boost in the power is like giving a murderer a knife, which doesn't make any sense. 9. Fire Force. At the top 9, we have the Fire Force anime. It's the tale of Shenra Kusakabe, a young man with abilities who wants to save humanity. Spontaneous human combustion, a terrifying phenomenon where people spontaneously catch fire and transform into fire demons called as infernals, has plagued the areas surrounding him. Tamaki finds out that Rika has been creating infernals and asks him to stop it. But Rika is a psychopath and he starts beating Tamaki. She once had feelings for this madman, but now it's time to rethink it. Meanwhile, Tamaki releases a flame to call for help. Shinra notices the flame just when Rika is about to kill Tamaki. Shinra comes with his fire wings and stomps right in the face of Rika. The cool animation and the crispy sound of the mighty blows just feel like a chef's kiss. 8. One Punch Man. One Punch Man is basically an anime where a bald guy can kick anyone's ass in just one punch. So what can you expect from this anime? That's right, a mighty entrance. In the second season, we see a god-level threat named Elder Centipede who comes face-to-face with some S-class heroes like Genos, Bang, and Bomb. The trio tries to take it down, but it is all in vain. Even Genos went into the bastard's mouth and incinerated the whole inside of it, but it regenerated in an instant. With all hope lost, King arrives who doesn't have any superpowers, but people still think that he's the strongest human. He distracts the worm and is about to be engulfed by it, but suddenly, caked baldy, Saitama arrives at the scene. He punches the giant worm and disintegrates it into atoms. 7. Bleach. Coming up on the top 7 is the one from the big 3. The iconic entrance is by none other than our Giga Cat Ichigo. The entrance is so cold because all hope is gone when Aizen manipulates the captains and kills them one by one. After that, Aizen merged with Hagyoku to become a completely different being beyond any level. Suddenly, Ichigo arrives at the scene after saving his father, giving a death stare at Aizen. But that was just not it. Ichigo says that he doesn't want to fight in the city, but Aizen refuses, saying that he isn't powerful enough. It was at this moment he knew he fucked. Ichigo grabs the bastard by his face and simply takes him to another place. Aizen is shocked to see this as the god-level threat just turned into a plastic bag. The two then fight off in a classical showdown like Dragon Ball Z. 6. Full Metal Alchemist. Talking about fire entrances, Full Metal Alchemist is no joke when it comes to fire. I mean fire. The banger entrance takes place when Mustang comes face to face with Envy. Envy is a shape-shifting emotion. You can use this power to take on the appearance of any living person, including fictional characters that Envy invents. He can even directly mimic other people's voices by altering his own. Since Envy is a homunculus, she's officially genderless. Despite his ability to assume the forms of both men and women, Envy previously used this ability to take the form of Mustang's best friend, Hugh's wife. This shapeshifter ultimately led to the death of Mustang's best friend, and in order to take revenge, Mustang was starving for this time. Using his fire ability, he constantly burns Envy in it, roasting it until he screams. Mustang tortured Envy to death, and in the last moment he lands the final blow to reduce Envy to ashes. This clip was so well animated that you can even feel the pain of Envy. 5. Black Clover. Moving on to the next spot, we have Black Clover. Black Clover is a very fascinating anime when it comes to dark powers. Here we have Yami, who makes a banger appearance to take on Dante. Dante attacks the Black Bull Fort to take on Yami, but Yami isn't there. The gang tries to take him on, but he is too powerful. Being one of the strongest in the anime and a host of the devil Lucifer, Dante beats the crap out of our heroes with ease. But then Yami arrives staring at Dante like a peasant from above. The two icons engage in a bloodlust battle, and the appearance is very significant as the players would have died if Yami was around. 4. Hunter x Hunter. Before we go into our top 3, first with the dragon dive from the anime Hunter x Hunter. The Ant King Meruem is the main antagonist in the manga and anime, also referred to as Meruem. Meruem, the king of the Chimera ants. He is revered as the peak of his species' evolution and possesses great power. Due to his infinite potential, he can wipe out the entire human race, so in order to defeat him, the Hunter Association's chairman Netero, along with Zeno Zoldyck, make a leap of faith on the enemy's stronghold. The old lads jump from a giant bird, followed by meteor rain right on the fort, and the dragon gives the vibes of Shanren. It's an amazing entrance considering the age as well. 3. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is no joke when it comes to manipulation or plot twists. However, one iconic entrance occurred in the final season when Eren went full berserker in Marley. Disgusted by the betrayal of Annie, Reiner, and Bertholdt, Eren decided to take matters into his own hands and went to Marley. He meets Reiner, who is scared to death after seeing him. Reiner apologizes to Eren for breaking the walls in Eldia, but Eren has decided to return the favor. He turns into his attack titan and eats Willy Tiber, who was launching the attack on the Eldians. After eating him, Eren jumps onto the high-ranked officers and lays a total waste to their empire, initiating the war with a bang. 2. Naruto. Another anime from the big 3 is Naruto. Pain is a well-known enemy in the series. He has immense power, so he lays waste to the Hidden Leaf Village. Our heroes like Kakashi and Hinata tried to take on the bastard, but they were nowhere near him. Suddenly, Naruto arrived, and damn, the appearance still gave us goosebumps. Naruto arrived with the whole Gama gang to take revenge for his master's murderer. Tsunade tries to stop them, but Naruto is done with all the talking. He jumps onto the battlefield to go one-on-one with the enemy, which leads to an amazing battle. 1. One Piece. The last but not the least is also an anime from the big 3. It's One Piece. There are many surprise entrances in One Piece, like Luffy coming to his friend's aid, but there's one beyond that. Remember the Marineford War? Well, it was no joke. It was the biggest war in the One Piece universe where we saw all the admirals of the sea and warlords together for the first time. On the other hand, we had Whitebeard, the strongest known old bastard to ever exist and also the Emperor of the Sea. Straw Hats were also alongside Whitebeard, and all of this was to save Ace. However, Ace and Whitebeard lost their lives, and this war led to many iconic scenes that shifted the whole One Piece fandom. But then the main Chad appeared, Shanks. Shanks and his allies arrive at the war to put a stop to this disgusting war, and even I was scared to see him. Shanks' aura was so powerful that even no admiral wanted to face another Emperor of the Sea. Thus, this entrance truly deserves the #1 spot on the list.